Okay, all right. First of all, very exciting day. Very excited about this class. Very proud of our staff. Our staff worked extremely hard. We added some coaches on the defensive side. Our staff really worked great together. Ended up having an excellent class. We signed 8 players from the state of Alabama, including Mr. Football, which is the 3rd year in a row. One of our main goals is to win the state of Alabama. We feel like we did that this year. We also signed 10 so far in the state of Georgia, which is also very important to us also. And then we signed 8 from Florida. And those are the three states that we really hang our hat on, and thought that was good balance with that. Really feel like we addressed our needs. You know, we needed some guys who can rush the passer, and we really feel like we did that. We also need some guys that can cover, and we addressed that. Needed a few wide receivers, and then we needed some O-line depth, so I feel very good about that. Okay, starting out before we get going our January enrollees, we just received Byron Cowart's paperwork, #1 player in the entire country. We feel very good about him being able to come in immediately and help us, obviously, rushing the passer. Our defensive staff did an excellent job recruiting that young man. All right, our January enrollees, starting out with Tyler Carr, Southside High School in Alabama. Big, athletic, tough. I mean, you know, when you think of Auburn tough, this is what I think about with this guy. I think he's got a chance to really help us, and he'd even have a chance to play early. Chandler Cox from Apopka High School, very versatile, is going to play our 3-back position. Played a very similar position in high school. He is one of the better all-around football players in the entire country, we felt like. Really fits our offense well. Tim Irvin from Westminster High School down around Miami, Florida. Very good football player. He's tough. He's a very good tackler. Coach T-Rob had a great relationship with him, and he came on board with us really in a short period of time after his official visit. Tyler Queen, quarterback from North Cobb in Georgia, runs a similar offense to what we do. Very good with the read zone. A very physical runner. Been committed to us a long time. We're very excited about Tyler. And then Javon Robinson, the #1 junior college player in the country. He is a big physical guy that can run. Really has a chance to be an elite player, we feel like. Our signees for today, start out with our punter, Ian Shannon from Marietta High School in Georgia. You know, we had a few issues last year in our kicking game. We really feel like he'll have a chance to come in and compete for the job. He's got a big leg. He can do all the kicking duties too, but really primarily is what we're thinking for punting next year. He'll have a chance to compete for that job. Markel Harrell, Creekside High School, a big athletic lineman that can run. We really think this guy has a chance to be an elite player. I mean, he can play center, he can play guard. He's very strong. He's everything that we look for in a lineman. Caleb Kim's a young man that's been committed to us a long time. Feel like he can play, you know, tackle, guard, or center. He's very smart, intelligent. You know, he is going to get bigger and stronger. We feel like he's got a lot of potential to be a very good football player. Jontavius Johnson from Lincoln High School in Alabama, a big guy that can run. You know, Coach Garner's been on this guy a long time, and really feel like he can be an impact player. He's very explosive, uses his hands well, so you know, he'll definitely help us. And then Prince Tega, Watanga Jr. Is a guy that, you know, kind of came on our radar as far as early in the season. You know, he's a big guy. We feel like this young man has unbelievable potential. Just been playing the game for 1 year. He's got a motor, and we're very excited about him. And of course, you know, rushing the passer, that was one of our emphasis. We feel like he can help with that. Mike Horton from Lakeside High School in Georgia, 6'4", 310 pounds. We've been recruiting this young man for a long time, developing a relationship. He came on a visit this last weekend. He also had a relationship with Will and T-Rob when they were at Florida. He's a guy that we feel like is going to have a chance to be a real special player. He's very big, he's very thick, and he can move, so we're excited about him. Darrell Williams, linebacker from Hoover High School. Very proud of this young man, extremely loyal to us, you know, highly recruited, in-state guy, had a chance to take a lot of visits. He chose to come back here and help us recruit. And that's 2 years in a row that we've had elite guys, that you see so many guys around the country that are taking this trip and taking that trip 2 years in a row, we've had guys come back and help us recruit. And that means something. That means something to the Auburn family. But Daryl's got a unique skill set. I believe he had 2 interceptions in the Under Armour game. Really think he fits in Coach Muschamp's defense well. Jalen Harris, tight end, 6'5", 245 pounds, from St. James High School in Montgomery. This is a guy that is, Philip Lutzenkirchen actually coached him. And they a very similar offense. He can put his hand down. He can move back and forth with H-back. This gives us a lot of flexibility and versatility. So we're very excited about him. Richard McBride, linebacker from Charles Henderson in Troy, is an in-state guy that we targeted 2 years ago. We felt like he had a chance to be a special player. Inside linebacker, he has great instincts, will fit very good into Coach Muschamp's defense. Ryan Davis, a receiver, especially when we lost Sammy Coates, felt like we needed to really go after a couple more receivers. He's one of the guys. He had a relationship with Will and T-Rob already, and we started recruiting him really hard the last month. I had him on an official visit. Really feel like he fits in well. He plays quarterback, and we've had great success with quarterbacks, moving to a wide receiver position. We really feel good about Ryan. Kerryon Johnson, Mr. Football in our state. He's one of the more versatile players in the entire country. And with our offense, we can get very creative with him. We really think this young man has a chance to be an elite, special type player. We feel like he's got everything it takes. We're very excited to add him to our offense. He'll have a chance to be an impact player coming in immediately. Carlton Davis, a big, long, tall defensive back that Coach T-Rob, one of the first guys that, when we hired him, he said, man, we really need to try to go after this guy. He was committed to another school. That relationship really helped with him. Came on a visit, really felt at home. This guy's got a chance to help us right off the bat. Montavious Atkinson from Langston Hughes High School in Georgia has been committed to us a long time. He's a very good tackler, a very good athlete, kind of a no-nonsense guy. He'll fit our defense very well. We think that he'll have a chance to help us immediately too. Jeff Holland from Trinity Christian High School in Jacksonville, Florida, has family that used to play basketball here. We've been on him a long time. Coach Garner has a great relationship with him. Coach T-Rob, Coach Muschamp already had a relationship with him. He is a pass rusher. I mean, we really feel like he can really help us in the pass rushing. He has a lot of flexibility. He's a very good tackler too. Darius Slayton, wide receiver from a Greater Atlanta Christian in Georgia, has family. Daryl Crawford, he's the nephew of Daryl Crawford. He has a lot of family associated with Auburn. Initially, we were recruiting him as a DB. He felt like he wanted to be a DB about a year and a half ago, and then kind of transitioned into the wide receiver position. And we started recruiting him probably the last 5 weeks extremely hard. He can run. He's a big guy that can run. We feel like he'll have a chance to help us next year, and we're very excited about him. Jeremiah Denson from American High School in Miami, Florida, same thing. Coach T-Rob, one of the first names he brought up, said, this guy can really play. He can run. He can tackle. He's a tough guy. Came on a visit, loved it right off the bat. Javaris Davis from Ed White High School in Jacksonville, Florida, one of the faster players in all the country. I believe 10-3 guy. There's not a whole lot of 10-3 guys running around. Going to be a great cover guy. He also returns kicks. Really think this guy will have a chance to help us, right off the bat. Jordan Colbert, a big defensive back playing safety, 6'3", 200 from Griffin High School, been committed to us a long time. Did a very good job of helping us recruit over the past year, and he's got the physical, set that he can play right off the bat. So we're very excited about him.
Go ahead and take questions.
Gus, what is your understanding of what happened with Byron Callis picking today?
Didn't get it faxed in until just recently, but we felt very good about it all along. I mean, there wasn't, I know the media, the uncertainty and all that, but we felt good about it the whole time.
Do you know if he signed the second letter at all?
I don't know if he's talking about the second letter. He sent in the letter to us.
Were you guys just kind of in contact with him the whole day?
Yes. Yeah, we were in contact.
Gus, just looking at the class, does it give you the flexibility defensively to play like 3-man fronts or 4-man fronts, whatever you want to do?
Well, Coach Muschamp, he's got the ability in our defense to do all that. And, he's handpicking these guys to fit, his defense. And he's very excited about that. We got some guys that can help us immediately. And like I said, the big thing is rushing the passer. I think everybody saw that, last year as a deficiency. We got Carl coming back, but we got some guys, 3 guys that we feel like next year can help us rush the passer. Then we talked about covering. We got to have some guys in the secondary that can cover. Coach T-Rob went out and he was already had relationships with some guys and felt very good about them coming in. And so, we're feeling very good on the defensive side of the football after this signing class.
Gus, you just talk about the impact Will and T-Rob had, and you recruited against them, and kind of what you saw watching them work.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they're on our side, I'll tell you that first of all. But Will Muschamp's the one of the best defensive minds in all of football, not just college. He's got a great reputation. He's sent so many people to the league. He's been a defense coordinator in the league. He can help guys get to where they want to get. And he's a very upfront guy, and he's a very honest guy, and that attracts the right type of people. And of course, Coach T-Rob is very good with relationships, and did a very good job for us.
A guy like Coward and what we've seen with Carl in the past, is this an immediate impact guy? Day one, you've got to have him contribute.
Yeah, I think so. You're talking about you're talking about the best player in the country. So yeah, he'll have a chance to, to compete and have a chance to be on the field immediately with his skill set.
Gus, let's talk about the struggles you may have had at defensive end this past year and how important it was for you guys to go out and get some.
Yeah, we didn't have Carl Lawson this year. We had a couple other injuries too, so I thought it was very important. And that was one of our priorities, get some guys that, we can rush the passer with just 4 guys and not have to blitz. And, we were able to do that 2 years ago, and, we weren't able to do that this past year. So that was definitely a focus, and, we're very excited about these guys that signed today.
In recent years, you guys have brought in a lot of good offensive linemen. Talk about this group. Does it look like it's comparable to what?
Yeah, Coach Grimes is very excited about this group. They're all, first of all, they're high character guys. They're big and athletic. The old days of just getting a big guy that can't move, they're about done. All these guys can move. They're athletic. Coach Grimes is very excited about this group, and a few of them are here early, and it's always good for offensive linemen to get that extra, strength and conditioning in. So we're very excited about this group.
Yes, how important was it to restock at wide receiver, get some guys that can come in and help you pretty quickly?
Yeah, we thought it was important. We lost a few guys right there, especially with Sammy Coates leaving early. And, Darius Slayton's a guy that, big, long guy, he can run. He can really run. He attacks the ball. And Ryan Davis, like we talked about, a guy that played quarterback. We've had numerous guys, the Quan Brays, all that played quarterback that came in our system and really flourished. Darvin Adams, Cody Burns, there's a lot of guys that have transitioned well in our offense.
Guys, how much impact does the immense amount of attention now on recruiting? Kids committing on national TV and just all of it. How has that impacted the way you guys go about it?
Well, it seems like every year you look on TV and there's more switching and all that, but I'm very proud of our staff, not just this year, but really the first 2 years. Once a guy commits to us, we've had very few people decommit. I would probably put our record against any other team in college football, and that's a tribute to our coaches developing relationships. It's also a tribute to our coaches identifying exactly what they want out of that position. Our coordinators know exactly what they want and being consistent with it. And so I think that definitely says a lot about our coaches and our program, and the goal is to continue that.
Looks like there's very likely going to be an early signing period coming up. Your thoughts on that and how it might affect the way things have been going?
Yeah, I'm fine with the way we're doing things. From a coach's standpoint, early signing period, you have 2 of these, and sometimes everything that goes with it is a little bit of a challenge, especially if it was at the end of a season and you were trying to compete for championships and all that. It could be a little challenging. I like the way we're doing it now.
Gus, given all his ability with Kerryon Johnson, I mean, where do you expect him to play? To play running back, to play receiver, and he's even shown the ability to play defense also.
Well, you just said it. He's going to play running back, but he's very good at the Wildcat. The last guy I saw with his skill set that can do what he can do is Darren McFadden, and so he's got that ability to run the read zone back there. You can put him out, split out, and he can jump over just about anybody. I mean, he's got a unique skill set that we're really expecting him to have a chance to play right off the bat, and really not just play. I mean, he has a chance to really help.
Was linebacker another position of emphasis?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Darrell Williams, McBride, both those guys. Coach Muschamp feels very good about. They're long guys, they're physical guys. They've got instincts, and they're both tough. So that was definitely something that we needed.
You mentioned versatility, guys. Jason Smith's a guy who was signed previously, but played quarterback in high school, played quarterback in junior college. Do you see him at quarterback? Do you see him at wide receiver?
Yeah, well, we're going to start out, and he's going to have a chance to play quarterback, and that's what we recruited him out of high school. Same plan. He went to junior college, so he's going to start out quarterback. But he is athletic enough that if it didn't work out, he could play some other positions. We're very excited about Jason, and we think he's got a chance to be a real special player.
Is he a guy that, when you don't have a dynamic runner quarterback like Nick, could be a wildcat guy even if he was played up?
I think we got numerous guys that would fit that mold. Kerryon Johnson would be a guy. Jason Smith he's dynamic with the ball in his hands wherever that is. But his mindset's to compete for the quarterback job, and so we'll see what happens.
Gus, does the signing of Ian Shannon mean that you kind of hope that Daniel Carson just now handles kickoffs and field goals?
Well, I mean, that would be best case. I mean, Daniel did a wonderful job of doing all three, but that's tough to do long term, and so the plan would be him come in, have a chance to win the punt job. But we'll see. We have a lot of confidence in his skill set and his ability, or we wouldn't have signed him. But he's going to have to earn it.
How does that impact the future of Jimmy Hutchins?
Well, he's going to have to compete for the job, just like any other position.
Yes, having guys in early, obviously, always an advantage. But for a guy like Javon Robinson, how important is that going to be for him?
Well, I think it's very important. The fact that he has a spring under his belt to get with Coach Horton, develop that relationship as a coach and a player, and the blocking scheme up front, and then get with Coach Russell, get his body, in shape and all that. And, he's got a chance. He's got a real chance to be a special player. He's a big physical guy. He's got all the attributes it takes to be a very good running back.
Yes, you talked about the challenges of signing day. Was there any point today where y'all were even a little nervous about Coward and just the potential there?
Well, I mean, anytime, no matter who it is, you're always waiting on the facts to come across and all that. And so, but like I said earlier, I mean, we were in communication, and we're glad it's official.
Do you know if there was any conflict of interest at play in that situation?
We felt good about it all day.
Gus, can you talk about Prince Tega, sort of a really different type of recruit?
You're exactly right. When you see him, he came to one of our games against the Arkansas game, the very first one. You see him, he's got the wow factor. I mean, he's 6'7", 6'8", and 250 pounds, and it's his first year to play football, and you turn the film on and you see great potential. And I know Coach Garner and Coach Muschamp have seen that, and he's a real driven young man. He's a real focused young man, and there's very few, if any, that have his skill set. So we think he has a chance to really be something, after he gets more experience learning the game and everything that goes with it.
Is the prognosis good for his injury?
Yes.
He come back from his injury?
Very good.
How important is that three-back role that you recruited Chandler for?
It's very important. I've said before, that's like another quarterback. We give that position a lot of flexibility. You saw Jake Brosh and the impact he made just in 1 year. And Chandler is a very tough physical guy that can not only block, he's got wide receiver type hands. His high school coach played him at running back. They played him at quarterback so he can run the football. And he's old school. I mean, you turn on his highlight film and the way he blocks. I mean, he runs through people. It's impressive, and he'll fit very good in, Auburn type football.
Because you've got 27 commitments already. Is that it for this year? Do you feel like there's a possibility of adding?
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Considering what you're able to do closing the class as strong as you did with the defensive coaches you brought on late, what's the expectation going to next year, having a full recruiting cycle with new guys?
Well, it's exciting for me because, you know, the new defensive staff comes in with 3 new coaches. And, you know, the way we were able to finish, you know, was very impressive. And I think a full year now of developing a relationship at the same place, I mean, we're going to have a real chance to do some real special things with our staff.
Anything else?
Guys, even with the kind of chaos a little bit here today, to ultimately have Byron sign, have an one player come in, to the big picture, how does the feeling of today with that and the class as a whole compare to a year ago in this field?
Well, we were very excited a year ago, there's no doubt. And, you know, from a coach's standpoint, you know, you're always thinking about your needs. You know, what do we need for this next year? Well, we felt very good that we addressed a lot of those. This year, it feels very similar. You know, there's some real strong impact players, Byron being one of those that we feel like could not only be on the field next year, but be an impact on the field. So that makes us feel very good. We're very excited. This is a class we feel like will help us get in position to win championships, you know, which obviously is our goal every year here at Auburn.
Yes.
All right, Coach. Last one.
You signed 6 from Florida just today, and I think you have obviously a few early enrollees. Just talk about the job that Will and your staff did in that state.
Well, in what state?
Florida.
Yeah, you know, the 3 states, you know, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, we kind of hang our hat on. And with the Florida ties that we have on our staff, and not just Will and T-Rob, but we got some other guys, I really think, you know, that is a state that, you know, we feel great about. And you see the balance of our numbers of those 3 states, you know, I feel very good about that. But I think our entire staff, I mean, I'm proud of our entire staff. They put a lot of work. You know, a lot of times in signing day, you just see the signing day, but what everybody doesn't see is that year to 2 year relationship that these guys put into, worked extremely hard. And I'm gonna end with this. I mean, we got some excellent players as far as physically. You turn the highlight films on, it's a wow factor. But I feel very good about this class from a character standpoint. And that's very important. And like we were talking about earlier, that you see these guys that were committed to us, and they stayed committed to us. They didn't do all this around the world stuff like you see a lot of places doing. And so from a head coach's standpoint, that means a lot to me. And so you know, the way you win with talent, you win with character is what we believe here at Auburn, and that's why it's real exciting for me today.
All right, Coach, thank you.